Hi guys, so it's Denise, and my social studies unit is called Tribe Life. The subject is pre-Columbian Florida social studies in the fourth grade. My learning objectives for the unit are Miss Ortiz's fourth grade social studies class will be able to demonstrate their knowledge of one's tribe's culture through an oral presentation with visual scoring 85% accuracy or higher. Miss Ortiz's fourth grade social studies class will be able to identify three famous Seminole leaders and list three important facts on a worksheet with 85% accuracy or higher. And Miss Ortiz's fourth grade social studies class will be able to list 5 to 6 causes and effects from the history of the Seminole Indians in Florida, including the Seminole Wars, on a worksheet with 85% accuracy or higher. For Lesson 1, the anticipatory, students are watching a video on Native Americans of Florida and then will answer what were the main groups of natives in Florida. They will also fill out a KW on their KWL chart prior to the video. Introducing new knowledge, students will go on the website provided and fill out the scavenger hunt worksheet on the 5 tribes, and once they are done, they will be in groups of 4 so they can start researching the tribe they were assigned to. So prior to this activity, students will be in groups of 4 anyways. Their tables will be set in groups of 4, and the website provided is actually WebQuest, where it has all the information that they need about the 5 tribes. For practicing new knowledge, students will be researching aspects of the tribe like types of homes, food, diet, clothing, appearance, and a community and family role. Sorry, I'm messing up. Expanding new knowledge, students will write 2 to 3 paragraphs about the difference between their life and the tribe they presented. They will also say which one they prefer to live in. So here students will compare themselves to the tribe they were talking about and explain a lot of the differences or maybe similarities that they have with them. And for teacher closure, students will finish their KWL chart and rate how much they like WebQuest. So this was a scavenger hunt that they will be filling out, and then the KWL chart. And for their oral presentation, they could dress up if they wanted to. For lesson 2, the anticipatory, students will be shown pictures about Seminole Indians and will have to figure out if they are a primary source or secondary source. Then the teacher will ask what makes an image or object a primary or secondary source. Introducing new knowledge, students will be gluing together a story cube that contains photos that are primary sources. They will discuss any predictions on what has happened in each photo, and then students will also write down differences between then and now. Practicing new knowledge, students will split into groups and pick between Osceola, Billy Bowlegs, and Abaca. Students will create a poster board about these famous Seminole Indians and provide primary sources of these Indians. During presentation, students will be taking a couple notes on the leaders. So here, students will pick between the 3 leaders and then create like a project or a poster about them, a poster board about them. And if they need help with primary sources, the teacher will be able to provide any assistance. And then other students who will not be presented at the time will be taking notes as they need them later on for their summative. Expanding new knowledge, students will choose between the 3 leaders they just learned about and write a narrative in their perspective of the Seminole lifestyle. Students can research more to try and impersonate their life in this diary and explain how they felt during the time they were leaders of the tribe. So here students are able to be a little bit more creative and possibly relate to how the Indians felt and try to their best abilities to list facts from the actual history we just read and some of their feelings that they would have felt too. For teacher closure, students will Instagram the learning by drawing to the best of their ability what they learned in a box and creating a caption to summarize like an Instagram post. So that's what the Instagram worksheet looks like, and then the 3 leaders right there, and then the story cube with the primary sources. So, and then for lesson 3 description, the anticipatory, The teacher will ask the students what they think the Seminole life consisted of. Students draw or write what they think the Seminoles did or had while they were on Earth. Introducing new knowledge, students will read about the Seminole life as a class and then answer the questions on the worksheet. Learn about the Seminoles. Students will also do a competition to see who finds out how the Seminoles originated. Practicing new knowledge, students will read about each of the Seminole Wars and then answer 2 cause and effect worksheets to figure out what started the wars and what effects the wars had. So here, students have the 2 worksheets, and on one worksheet, the causes are listed already. The causes were the 3 Seminole Wars, and they figure out what effects the wars had. And then on the second worksheet, the effects are actually the 3 wars, and then the students are also trying to list why the wars were even caused in the first place. And so, for expanding new knowledge, students will get an if and then worksheet and create scenarios that might have happened if details or events in the Seminole history were changed. They will present one of the scenarios like a newscast skit. So the newscast skit was actually from the textbook on page 136. Students are able to pick out or be creative and just decide what event or detail they think would have really just changed the course of history. So if they didn't have Osceola as their leader in the Second War, would there have even been a war in the first place? And then students can just list either consequences or positive things that could have happened from not having a second war, or just any other scenarios that they come up with. And then for teacher closure, students will write what their favorite part of the lesson was in their journal. So this is what the skit will look like. The background will definitely be set up for the students. And obviously they can dress the part if they want to. The cause and effect worksheet. And then just an image of what the war could look like. And before I press my portfolio on my Pinterest, I want to say the anticipatory question is, who were the main group of natives in Florida? Okay, now the Pinterest. So for my Pinterest, I put down a couple of places, so like Mount Key State, Billy Swamp Safari, the Florida Museum of Natural History, Safety Harbor Museum, and Atatiki Museum. I'd put in Hillsborough River State Park, because this is where it has a lot of rich history about the Seminoles and the other tribes, and I thought it would be something fun for the kids to do, for the students to experience. The Seminoles of Florida, and the very first Americans are books. The Seminole of Florida actually is a textbook. And then there's the 7 Native American survival skills. There's a map of what the tribes look like in Florida. Then there's also decorations of what I would love to do if I had Indian or Native American unit. How I would set up my classroom, like I would have the name tags and the arrows. I definitely would have a crafts time, so doing shirts or dream catchers or a headdress. My door would be like a tent. I would definitely have like a campfire area. There's a Native American activities workbook, an encyclopedia of Native American tribes. There's more arts and crafts. And yeah, that was my Pinterest. So thank you guys.